lot of young guys, a lot of old guys having to work together here. Has that been a problem, or it seems to have come together pretty well?
Yeah, fortunately, it's come together pretty well, and you always worry about the dynamics of your team, not only on the court but in the locker room, off the court. I think from day one, we've had a very good blend in terms of guys getting along. I do believe that the summer trip probably helped that, just in terms of traveling together and, those guys doing what they were doing down there. I think that definitely helped the cause. But I also think when you've got really good guys, good character in your program, that also helps because they connect.
One follow-up. Is there
There is no hazing. Let's get that straight right now.
you tell the seniors, make them earn their stripes. I mean, how does that work now?
Well, I think what I always tell the young guys is you respect the heck out of the older guys, but don't ever back down from them, the day they get here. Because, your older guys, they've been new to a program. They went through it as well. And, I honestly, I've been very, very pleased with what the older guys have done in terms of bringing the younger guys along.
After the Louisville game, how different and how do you think benefited this team, or do you not really know until you get into another environment like you're going to see on Saturday?
Yeah, and I even think tomorrow night, just in terms of playing a neutral site game, we were supposed to play Monday's game down there, but we had the opportunity to move this one. Thought it was a great opportunity to go neutral site, just in terms of what we have this week. We still talk about the Louisville game. Just having an understanding of not being ready when we were supposed to be, and with that said, there was some good things that came out of that game, but that one's probably going to be brought up quite a bit throughout the course of the season.
You guys showed the team tape of Michigan State, Ohio State football game. Where did that idea come from, and what do you think your team could have learned from watching the football team's defense?
Well, we showed that. We showed some NFL. What we were trying to show them was when the offense comes, and every time the offense shifts, the defense shifts. So that was the gist of what we were trying to get them to understand. There were some NFL clips in there. There were the best clips we could find of the quarterback comes up, he calls an audible or whatever, and guys are moving this way, and then you see the defense moving, you see the linebacker hitting the lineman, moving them, and we were just trying to get our guys to understand that that's when the offense moves against our zone, we have to move too. You've got to constantly be adjusting, was what I wanted to show them.
So was it a compliment for Ohio State's football team to make it into the clip reel?
Well, no question. Yeah. I think there was more than Michigan State. There was a couple other games in there as well. But, we found the best clips of just, 12 seconds of guys moving and guys shifting and guys pointing and guys, we couldn't hear them talking, but you knew they were talking, and, the defensive backs sending guys along and saying that's what our defense has to look like in terms of people moving. We have to be pointing and talking, and we have to be shifting as they shift.
It's not a lot of Brown stuff, I'm assuming.
No, I'm not an NFL guy, and I'm not going to answer that.
But do you feel like they took to that lesson? Do you think they kind of, I'm sure there's not a lot of parallels between zone defense and shifting pre-snap, but do you feel like they kind of grasped that
yeah,
lesson?
I think, our communication got better, for the next game. Probably need to show it again, but, and we just wanted them to understand that every movement causes a movement by us, and you have to tell the guy next to you what you're doing and why you're doing it.
In the past couple of games, we've seen Keita's minutes go up a little bit. It seems like you've been able to run some bigger lineups with him and either Jay Sean or Mark on the wings, and allowing you to have D'Angelo and Sam at the top of the zone. What does that kind of length at the guard positions really do for that zone and help to disrupt things?
It's funny because I looked out there the other day and I said, wow, that's a pretty big zone right there. I think it obviously takes up space. It allows us to challenge things probably a little bit better. Conversely with, Cam plays extremely hard, and Shannon, is a great defender. So, something we can definitely look at. But, Sam up there, and Sam has a really good feel from the football video we showed of what he's supposed to be doing out there and telling others. But, I think you'll see that at times, honestly, because I think Cade is playing really, really good basketball. He continues to practice well, and that's great to see.
As these next couple weeks, when finals are over and you get unfettered access with these guys, and what are you hoping to accomplish before you get into the big?
Yeah, it's funny because I always think the way you think in terms of we've got these guys now, but we're traveling, playing tomorrow night. They finish finals tomorrow. We're traveling. We come home, play. They go home for a couple days. We get back. We got a real quick turnaround. Then you're kind of into Big Ten play. Then you start school again. So there's never that week of, hey, we're going to go twice. We're going to, blah, blah, all these things. It never seems to work the way we'd like for it to work in terms of just that unlimited time factor of, hey, we can work offense in the morning, we come back, work defense in the afternoon. It just seems like it happens so quick, and it's not as much time as it appears.
Thad, I was wondering if you could just expound about Anthony Lee's season thus far. I know he missed the last game for family reasons, but just what you've seen from him so far, and do you expect to see like massive kind of growth from him as conference play as we get into that here?
Yeah, I think I've been on the big guys. Amir, I thought, played very well Saturday, but we've got to have production from that spot. And I think in terms of Anthony, he has to realize his grace period's over. It's time to go. He shows some very, very good signs in practice. We just need that consistency. We need that energy. He's a guy that when we want to go big, we can play big. He has to be in the mix to do that. Obviously the rebounding, the finishing around the basket, those types of things are going to be very important for his welfare and adding to our team.
What can you tell me about, not asking you to look ahead, but just the game, the North Carolina game, and the fact that where it's being played. What to you, I know a lot of fans you could just set the number, there's no limit to how many of those types of games they would want to see, but what to you as a coach do you tell your guys, what do you get out of this type of game, playing it, the good things about it?
Well, yeah, I don't ever like to talk ahead, but I think from Saturday's game, you're looking at a 3-year deal, and in terms of you've got 4 of the highest powered college basketball teams going to be in the same arena playing. Obviously UCLA drew the short straw this year. I'm kidding. But I think from that perspective, from Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA, Ohio State, this year Chicago, next year it's in Brooklyn, the following year I think it's in Las Vegas. Those are just, it's a great thing. I mean, that'll be the kind of the pinnacle of college basketball on that given day in terms of, a fan sitting down and watching 2 hopefully really, really good games.
I don't want to be forward again, but obviously it's a pretty big day for Shannon. I don't know if we're going to get to talk to him about it between now and then, but just from your perspective, obviously he's from that area and who his dad is. What do you think that game means to him, and not only just emotionally, but in the last big game you guys played against Louisville, he struggled a little bit. I mean, how big of a day do you think that's just going to be for him in general?
I just hope he plays well. Quite honestly, I think that that it's funny because I can't remember why it was referenced. It was an out of bounds play. We were playing North Carolina. I was an administrative role at Butler, and we spent all this time going how we're going to guard this play, and they throw it in, they tap it back to the guy, and he dunks it. And I was telling Shannon about it a month ago, and he says, "Coach, I wasn't even born then." And I said, "Okay, I'm old. You're young." And so I don't know what it means for him. I know this. He's been incredible here at Ohio State for us, and I know what color he bleeds.
This game, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but this game tomorrow night, being at Nationwide, what does it do for you? To have the game?
I think honestly, from the standpoint of we want to play as well as we can possibly play. There, coming off of Saturday night's game, the debriefing was kind of long yesterday in terms of what we didn't do well, both offensively and defensively. And I want to see those things get corrected. I think the fact that you're in Columbus, but you're not in the Schottenstein Center. We're getting ready to load up and go down and practice, and very similar to Friday, we got an hour and a half to practice in the United Center. And, hopefully guys are learning. They know this, the way we practice is the way we play. And that's been definitely reminded or brought to their attention every single day. So my thing is I want to have a great practice day. I want to play really, really well tomorrow night. Take a deep breath, take a look at the film, and then we move forward from there.
You've had a handful of games since you've been here, a couple, 3 or whatever at Nationwide. Does it feel any different when you're playing there? Does it feel like a home game, or where are we?
Yeah, I'm trying to think because we played.
You played Miami there once?
Miami there once. When 07 we played somebody. Youngstown State, yeah. So, I think it does have more of a home court feel, just in terms of the fans. And, I'll try to trick the guys and say this is just like the Schottenstein Center, so we'll shoot the ball real well. But, you hope that they're used to it because we're getting ready to go on a stretch where we're going to be going into different venues, and hopefully this helps us. You're not in your locker room, you're, that sort of thing.